Hello, it's Aubrey Shepherd on the 29th of June 2015. Well, there's a tiny skipper moth on a tiny milkweed plant. It's now here is orchid, and that's also pretty tiny on Pinnacle Prairie. And here is a late blooming special. Well, that was a flower fly on a spiderwort. We may have another picture of a spiderwort. Here's a white flower I couldn't identify. And I wish we had somebody here. John Rule might know what it was, but hadn't heard from him. And there I'm showing you how small that flower is. And it's, I couldn't see the vegetation very well at the bottom. Anyway, here's another shot of the orchid. I think I found 6 of these stems of these orchids scattered out there on Pinnacle Prairie today. I'm sure there are more. That shows how high up my leg it was. The hand was straight out. It wasn't reaching down. I was looking down at the camera. It was, gosh, close to 3 feet tall. Certainly more than 2.5. Okay, another spiderwort, and these are tall, these late blooming ones that whose name other people know and I don't. They are very beautiful small flowers, and that's one. I've held it up to show you some of the detail. It's always windy on Pinnacle Wet Prairie, Pinnacle Foods, seasonal wet prairie. Okay. Monarda plant, and we've got a clear wing moth. When you see that in there with a bunch of other things, you think, oh, that's the bumblebee. But then if you get close, you realize it's a clear wing moth. And those are about as beautiful an insect as you can find, except there's a different species. It's probably more beautiful than this one, but it's less common around South Fayetteville. Every now and then I get one of the other species, and I'm really proud when I do. It's a little brighter color, I guess. But these things move so fast that I was just snapping, and they'd be on a different flower when I tried to make the second picture. You can see that one's actually nectaring just for a moment. This is St. John's wort, spotted St. John's wort, native species. And they tout that as something good for your heart, but I know a guy that almost had a heart attack after he used some, so I don't know about those things. This is that was obviously a sunflower on Pinnacle Prairie. Now here's Asclepias tuberosa with a green bee. I don't think it's a flower fly. I believe this is an actual bee. This is the grass you see is needle grass. That's the reason I chose this particular field milkwort to photograph a few times, because that needle grass is so beautiful itself, so tiny, so thin. This is heel all, also known as all heel and heels all and so forth, and self-heal. And there were a bunch of those out there today, and they were standing tall, and out, where it was easy to photograph them, so I got more. Okay, this is a plain old honeybee, one of those European honeybees that is all over the U.S., of course, and an important pollinator, and it's on mountain mint, probably on hairy mountain mint is the name. And this is a obedient plant flower up close. And this little yellow flower, I'm not sure what it is, but maybe we'll know next time we see it. I'll look it up. Didn't have time today. There you can see how small it is and that little skinny stem it's on. And can't see down the foliage. This is Lonicera sempervirens, my favorite native honeysuckle. And it's been in bloom every month now, April, May, June, and I bet a few of these are in bloom in July. It's a good year for them. This is a ground cherry, and you can see an insect on it. And then we're going to show you, I think, the same insect. Well, there are two different insects on the back of it there, and you can see the inside. That big yellow outer part's probably a sepal or whatever, but it's an interesting little plant. Till next time, it's Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. See ya. Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd again on the 29th of June 2015. We're looking at some photos from the Pride Parade down on Dixon Street on the weekend. That was on Saturday. Well, it started 10 o'clock, more or less. You can see a lot of people in front of Walton Arts Center. People were lined up the whole street. I mean, gee, I couldn't believe how many people were down there. Estimates were more than 2,000. Somebody else estimated 4,000 because maybe they'd looked on all the side streets and every bar and everything where people were looking out. It was pretty active, and people were very excited about the new rules for gay marriage announced just that day, I guess, or the night before. And so this is a pride parade, but it's not just about gay or any other category that people are placed in by society, but it's about people's pride in Fayetteville and the pride in diversity, the fact that Fayetteville is an accepting, relatively happy place. I hope you enjoy some of the costumes you're seeing. Sorry I can't show you pictures of the parade itself, but I do have a video on YouTube and linked to my Facebook site in about four pieces, I believe, 4 video clips, and you can see the whole parade and then the after party over at Wilson Park afterward on there. So these are all Dixon Street folks, and I wasn't highly selective here. I just selected a batch that were handy and put them up, made a lot more pictures before the parade. And when it started, it was all about getting the video for me, which turned out okay. You know, handheld and standing in the street in the sun, you don't expect it to be perfect, but at least it gives you an idea of how excited people were and what they represented. Several different denominations of religious denominations. There were Catholics, there were Lutherans, there were Episcopal, Methodist, many different groups of religious people were there in support. And gee, is that Kit Williams wearing a 2005 San Francisco Pride shirt? Wonder if he really got out there or somebody just sent him that shirt. Okay, hope you recognize some of your friends here, not the ones not in costume, and you can enjoy, or you may see yourself. I hope somebody watches this station that actually was there. I know there had to be. I wasn't the only one. Here we're coming up. Some of these slides hold too long, don't they? Yeah. Okay, at left you see a couple. I'm going to get a close-up of them here, I think. Mr. and Mrs. Side Sticker. The only close-up of a couple that I've made out there that I could find easily this afternoon when I was putting this batch of photos together. But see, people were in those bars and restaurants eating and drinking and before the parade started, and you couldn't see them all. So honestly, there's the Side and Sticker family. All right. Old friends. They're not nearly as old as I am, but anyway, they've been friends for a long time. Now we're out at Wilson Park. I hope I didn't say walk. This is Wilson Park, and the lady in the middle was the grand poobah or something, grand marshal of the parade. And she's a lawyer who represented the people fighting for their rights in Arkansas, and was selected to ride in the float for that reason. And everybody gave her a lot of applause. Okay, here's some of the booths, and you can see people's shirts and their various thoughts that they wanted to share. And this was a big, I don't know, there were a lot more than 1,000 people I could see there, and that actually went on over to Wilson Park. They had some other activities, but when this was, and somebody was catering food. They had good hamburgers and so forth out there. And it was just a delightful, relatively cool afternoon. Till next time, do your part. See ya.